And the sooner we stop normalizing burnout, the sooner we can start creating lives that actually support our health, our energy, our well-being in a sustainable way. What if you're more burned out than you even realize? Not the kind of burnout where you can't get out of bed, and not the kind where everything completely falls apart. I'm talking about the kind of burnout that still looks successful from the outside. You're still showing up, you're getting things done, you're taking care of everyone, you're keeping all the plates spinning. But underneath it all, you're exhausted. You're more reactive. You don't enjoy things the way you used to, and you can't even remember the last time you truly felt rested. The truth is this: many midlife women are living with a level of burnout that they've normalized for so long that they don't even recognize it anymore. And today, I want to talk about why. Last week, I shared my own healing journey and the realization that my body had been living in survival mode for years. And today, I'm talking about something I see in so many women, including the woman that I used to be. It's the hidden burnout that becomes so normal that we stop questioning it. I think many women have an image in their mind of what burnout maybe looks like. Maybe someone who can't function normally anymore or can't go to work as often. Maybe someone who has completely hit a wall. And while burnout can look like that, often it doesn't, especially for high-achieving women. For many of us, burnout looks like functioning. You still go to work. You still take care of your family. You still show up for everyone else. And you still get things done. In fact, from the outside, you might look incredibly successful, but internally, everything feels harder than it used to. And because you're still functioning, you assume you're fine. I know I did. Many women don't realize they're burned out because symptoms maybe become their new normal. You tell yourself things like, I'm just tired. It's just a busy season. Everybody probably feels this way, right? Maybe I just need a vacation, or I'll rest after this project, or I'll slow down after the kids are older. I'll take care of myself later. But later, as we all know, usually never comes. And over time, your body adapts to operating in this constant state of output. You become so accustomed to feeling exhausted, feeling overwhelmed, feeling emotionally depleted, feeling disconnected from yourself, and feeling like you're always behind, and feeling guilty when you rest. And eventually, those things stop feeling like warning signs, and they simply just feel like life. One of the reasons I think burnout becomes so visible during midlife is because our bodies become less willing or less able to compensate. For years, many women are running on stress hormones, willpower, responsibility, obligation, people-pleasing, perfectionism, caretaking, and we just keep pushing through. We override our needs. We keep going. And often we can do that for a very long time until we can't. Then suddenly women find themselves saying, I just don't know what's wrong with me. But often it's not that something just suddenly appeared or changed. The body simply reached a point where it could no longer keep carrying what it had been carrying for years, because we were never really designed to carry this much for so long. Midlife doesn't create all the stress. It often just reveals it. It shows us all the things we've been ignoring for maybe years or decades. I think many women listening will relate to this. You became the reliable one, the responsible one, the capable one, the one everyone counts on. And while those qualities are really beautiful, they can also become really exhausting, because somewhere along the way, being strong can turn into never slowing down. Being capable can turn into carrying way too much. Being dependable can turn into believing you have to handle everything yourself, that doing everything for everyone is how you maybe earn your worth. And being able to do all this becomes something like a badge of honor. So then slowing down can feel like a failure or like you're doing something wrong. And eventually the cost catches up with you, not because you're weak, but because you're human. When I look back now, one of the biggest signs wasn't just physical exhaustion. It was how disconnected I felt from myself. I wasn't excited about much anymore. Even the stuff I had prayed for didn't make me really happy any longer. I was never fully present. I wasn't enjoying life the way I wanted to. I was pretty much just surviving it. I was checking all the boxes and accomplishing things and handling responsibilities, but I wasn't experiencing the peace or joy or connection that I deeply wanted. One thing that I remember so clearly was driving to work every morning with this constant sense of dread that somehow everything I loved was going to somehow fall apart. And the strange thing was, my life was in a really good place. I had an incredible husband and healthy kids and a career that I genuinely loved and had worked hard for. These were the very things I had prayed for. But instead of feeling grateful and at peace, I felt like I was kind of standing on the outside of my own life looking in. I couldn't fully enjoy any of it. I couldn't relax into it. There was always this underlying fear that I was going to lose it all somehow or maybe mess it all up. I remember thinking, this can't be how life is supposed to feel. I knew I couldn't keep living with that constant weight in my chest. Looking back now, I don't think my body was telling me that something terrible was about to happen. I think it was just trying to tell me it had been carrying way too much for way too long. And the truth is, many women are so busy managing life that they don't realize they've stopped fully living it. That realization was hard for me, but it was also freeing because once I saw it, I could start changing it. And if that's where you are right now, I don't want your takeaway to be that you need to completely change your life overnight. Instead, I'd simply invite you to start paying attention. Maybe just find one spot in your day where you can pause for a moment and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not what still needs to get done, not what does everyone else still need from me, just what am I feeling? Because when we've lived in survival mode for a long time, we stop checking in with ourselves. And learning to notice what your body is trying to tell you is often where healing really does begin. And maybe instead of asking, how much more can I handle today? Or how much more can I get done? I want you to consider asking, what is this pace costing me? And is the way I'm living actually helping me become the woman I want to be? What is it costing my health, my relationships, my peace, my joy, my energy, my ability to be present in this life? Because burnout isn't always about doing too much. Sometimes it's about doing too much for too long without enough recovery. And eventually, the body starts asking for a different way. And we often don't like the way that the body has to ask for it when we have been ignoring it for too long. Maybe you've become incredibly good at carrying everything, but just because you've learned how to carry it doesn't mean you're meant to carry it forever. I think your body has been trying to tell you that all along. If you've been feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, emotionally depleted, or disconnected from yourself, I want you to know something. You don't have to wait until everything falls apart to start paying attention. Burnout isn't a personal failure. It's just information. It's your body asking for support and your nervous system asking for safety. It's your life asking for a different rhythm. And the sooner we stop normalizing burnout, the sooner we can start creating lives that actually support our health, our energy, our well-being in a sustainable way. If this episode resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What side of burnout have you normalized without maybe even realizing it? I think you'll be surprised how many women share the same experiences. And if you're navigating autoimmune symptoms, perimenopause, exhaustion, or chronic stress, make sure you're subscribed because that's exactly what we talk about here every week. And before you go, watch this episode next because that episode shares the personal story behind everything we talked about here today. Thank you so much for being here. Take a breath, trust your body, and let's rise together. I'll see you here next week.